You've probably seen those yellow boxes with Planet Aid written on the side, asking for your clothing to help out the poor. But tonight, questions about how much of your help is actually reaching those in need. A Fox 5 investigation found this growing charity might be connected to a controversial group that some people consider a cult.
That group now accused of turning your kindness into their fortune. Tisha Thompson here now with more on this 6-month-long investigation. Tisha.
Brian, Planet Aid has been in the news before, with groups like the Better Business Bureau claiming it doesn't give enough to charity. But our Fox 5 investigation has uncovered evidence linking it to an alleged cult leader at the center of an international manhunt.
It's the ultimate rags to riches story. Big yellow bins, banking on your kindness.
Well, we love giving the things that don't fit our children or ourselves to other people, and it's easy and convenient.
For me, it's the close place to give.
Are very convenient for me to use.
Planet Aid says it now has more than 1,000 of these bins in our area, set up in front of churches, schools, and private businesses, all asking for clothing donations.
It's a busy box. Collect a lot of stuff.
Charles Frank says he was happy to let Planet Aid put bins on his gas station property.
The cost of doing all this stuff, I can't imagine they could make much money.
But federal tax records show this nonprofit brought in almost $30 million in 2007 by selling the donated items.
And then the money that we generate from that, that's what we donate to projects that we support in third world countries, mostly in Africa.
In 2005, Planet Aid's president told Fox 5 it gives millions away to these different charities. But when we took a close look at its most recent tax records, we noticed many of the charities have the same address, like these in South Africa. But the South African embassy tells us these groups are not registered charities. Our investigation found all of the charities listed in Planet Aid's most recent tax returns are controlled by the same parent organization, a group called International Humana People-to-People Movement, who, according to its own website, also controls Planet Aid.
Well, frankly, it makes my blood boil to think that the public is being hoodwinked in this way.
British journalist Mike Durham spoke to us via Skype from London. He's investigated Planet Aid and Humana for the last decade, even creating a watchdog group devoted to them.
I would definitely characterize it as a form of what is called transnational organized crime.
He says the British, French, and Belgians shut down Humana-controlled groups after officials found money was not being used for charity. Instead, European investigators say the money paid for multi-million-dollar homes, a yacht, and offshore bank accounts, controlled by this man from Denmark, Amdi Petersen, who some consider a cult leader.
Amdi Petersen began as a really kind of a 1970s idealist. He created what he considered to be a charity to help the third world, to help people. But over a period of time, it evolved into this labyrinth of corporations and charities that many call a cult.
Danish court records from 2002 allege Petersen instructed his followers to ensure the money was protected from theft, taxation, and prying by unauthorized persons by creating a financial network so complex it would become a twisted access path with only ourselves as compass holders. Danish authorities say he controls as much as $850 million.
Amdi Petersen has control with a small group of leaders at the top, and they control everything. All of the charities, all of the people, and all of the cash flow.
The Danish government has tried to shut Petersen down. In January, one of his top assistants was convicted for tax fraud and embezzlement, but Petersen vanished during the trial and has managed to evade an international manhunt.
And if he goes back to Denmark, he will be prosecuted.
Planet Aid refused to do an on-camera interview with Fox 5, but did tell us in a statement it was not aware of a recent trial in Denmark that is linked to Planet Aid, and Petersen does not have any relationship with the organization. As for calling it a cult, Planet Aid says that's a most ridiculous claim. But on its own website, Planet Aid admits some of its members do belong to Peterson's group, claiming it's a lifestyle choice that may not be for everyone.
Planet Aid may present itself as a charity, and its representatives will go blue in the face saying, yes, it is a charity, placed in its context as part of a really large and shady organization. No, it's not a charity, it's a means of making money.
Now, we want to make clear that Planet Aid and its parent charity, International Humana People-to-People Movement, are not part of the well-known American healthcare company called Humana. You may have heard of them before. Everyone we've talked to says there is reason to believe some of the money made from selling the donated clothing does end up with some charitable groups. But it's such a small percentage, critics say it would still not be considered a charity by state regulators if they took a close look. And Brian and Sean, our Fox 5 investigation is far from over. Tomorrow, we're really going to explain why people think Omdi Peterson is a cult leader, and we're going to hear from some of his followers.
It'll be interesting to hear. Tisha Thompson, thank you.